My friend kept contacting me about this product, said this is an amazing product. It's going to change your life, change your practice, give you transformational results for your patients. I ignored her for at least 4 months because I hear that a lot about a lot of different products, and most of them are not worth recommending, endorsing, or using. And I say that as someone who, like I said, gets a lot of product requests for endorsements and recommendations and promotions. And then I finally tried the product because she kept sending me proof that I couldn't ignore. And I also have about an 8-year background in phototherapy. I've been using it in my practice pretty much that whole time and couldn't be anywhere but on the leading edge of phototherapy. So I tried the product myself, started to recommend it to friends and family, and started to get all of these incredible, amazing, transformational testimonials from people from my newsletter subscribers, some of whom may be here tonight. And I kept recommending the patches, kept getting these recommendations, started using it more and more in my practice, started to get more and more testimonials. And this has been really amazing for my practice because we tend to attract very sick, very difficult cases from all over the world who are coming to us for the latest and greatest and the newest breakthroughs in natural, integrative, and functional medicine. So the X39 patch is one that we use pretty much all the time. Just tonight, I had a patient calling me from Miami whose father's 87. He's in the ICU. You know, one of the last things he asked me on the call was, because his dad's trying to get home, was, how much do you really think these patches are going to help him? And I said, look, I've seen these things do amazing things. I don't know what they're going to do for him, but I think you should absolutely try them because I've seen them work miracles. So that's been my experience. All right. So what is the X39 patch? The X39 patch is like phototherapy patch. Let me make that really simple. Your body emits infrared light. That is why you are visible on an infrared camera. If you've ever wondered how soldiers see at night with those funny goggles they wear, it's because they're looking at the world as it emits infrared light. So you emit infrared light. That's why you're warm. When you stop emitting infrared light, you get cold, aka you die. That infrared light has many different frequencies in it, and the X39 patch is designed to reflect a very specific frequency of light back into the body. A lot of people ask me, well, so what? Why does that matter? It's a little bit like fingers on a chalkboard, right? If you've ever heard fingers on a chalkboard, you know that it really makes you powerfully uncomfortable, even though it's not that loud. In a similar way, certain frequencies of light resonate with your body in such a way that you get these disproportionate improvements in your health. And that's really what phototherapy at its heart is all about. Now, the X39 patch in particular has been engineered in order to boost levels of something called GHKCU, better known as GHK copper peptide, which is a peptide that's a small protein in the body that is linked to a whole host of different benefits to our health and well-being. Perhaps foremost of which is its effect on stem cell function. So GHKCU is very well known to improve stem cell function. This means that it accelerates wound healing, improves resiliency and performance, and gives people better energy, sleep, cognition, and recovery from injury and exercise. So that's why I love the X39 patch in a nutshell. So a common question that we get is, why does it work so well? If you know anything about stem cells really drive all healing, health, and wellness. You have a stroke, to recover, you need stem cells. You have a heart attack, to recover, you need stem cells. You break your leg, you injure your skin in some way, abrasions, lacerations, crush injuries, you need stem cells. The reason people say getting old is tough is because your stem cells are quitting on you as you get older. By 30, you've lost 50% of your stem cell activity. By 60, you've lost 90% of your stem cell activity. The reality is getting old doesn't have to be tough. You have to take care of your stem cells. That's what we do at my practice. Part of the way we do that is the X39 patches. So that in a nutshell is how the X39 patches work and why I love them. And that's my story. So patents are important. You mentioned that it's a blue ocean product. There's no Me Too's on the block. There won't be for some time now, years. And that's because it's patented. And that's really important because, if you can, I've seen this happen with other phototherapy products, some of which I have behind me. That right there is a big phototherapy light. The reality is you ship that to somebody, they reverse engineer it, they shop around in China for somebody to make the exact same knockoff. And all of a sudden you are competing with somebody who really didn't have to put in any R&D. And that's really hard for a lot of companies in the phototherapy space. So having this thing be patented really makes a huge difference on the business side of things. Now it's patented because David Schmidt has really figured out some unique things about light therapy. And if you told me that this product was going to do the things that I've seen it do before I tried it, I would not have believed you. I would have thought you were out of your mind. And I've had more than one person come back to me and say, Dr. Stillman, you're not going to believe this. And now I get to say, no, try me. I've probably heard something similarly crazy to whatever you're about to tell me has happened with the patches. So that's really important. As far as the research goes, there's lots of compelling lab science, but the truth is I'm a clinician, which means that I really care about what my patients tell me. And we keep very close touch on our patients. We see them a lot. Unlike a lot of practices where, you might see the doctor once a year for 15 minutes, we see our patients usually for hours a year. And so they tell me what works and what doesn't work. And we get some profound testimonials. So for me, the best proof of this product is the testimonials. We've been doing phototherapy research since the 1960s. It's extremely well studied. The thing is, no one talks about it because it's not making healthcare systems a lot of money. And frankly, that's, it's a very political game, health research. And it's not competing with big pharma. Let's just put it that way.
That's awesome. And Dr. Stillman, thanks for your story and testimonials and all your work with sick patients. So our practice, in similar fashion, we find a lot of people who are at the end of their rope, and they've tried big pharma. They've been in the healthcare system for, in many cases, years, if not decades, and they're finding that therapies that promote the body healing from within are really what is making a difference in their life. So I was really excited. Earlier this year, I think May approximately, was when some doctors that I'm colleagues with introduced me to the LifeWave technology. And after hearing, how they had put it into their practice and their integrative and functional medicine practice, and the results and testimonies they were seeing and hearing, I had to try it myself. And that's usually how I operate. Like, okay, makes sense. Heard about it. Listened to Dr. Schmidt talk about the science, the technology, and his story behind it, and tried it myself. And within a few weeks, noticed big transformation. Tested different things, different exercises, weightlifting, so forth. Had personal records and those at age 47, and I was impressed enough to offer to patients. And now, after several months in practice, the testimonials from patients are, and maybe in Dr. Stillman's words, would have not believed them had I not seen and heard them from myself. So it's been transformational in the way I practice, because it's such a powerful tool now in our toolkit. And again, in my practice, I like to tell patients, I would like to de-prescribe medication for you. Um, we're not looking to add pharmaceuticals to your regimen. We're looking to remove them, and more importantly, to really help you heal from within. So what I really notice, and the word energy comes to mind. So more energy, and the other word that comes to mind too is leverage. Like, I can now leverage all the nutrition, all the healthy things that I do, are making a big difference in healing my body. So reduce joint pain for me, much better sleep. And similar to your slide fashion, no nighttime trips to the bathroom anymore. That was something I just accepted as well. That's part of the deal with advanced aging, but not anymore. And now there's no going back in that regard.
And it's great to be able to share my story alongside these other giants here. So I'm really new to the patch world. So only thing I can say is my carpal tunnel syndrome is gone. Those are the first words that my testimony person came and told me about. just like most doctors, we've been, offered the proverbial snake oil from 100 different ways coming in. And I had this wonderful woman, Brittany, that started speaking to me and really speaking a lot of life into the product, and just really just kind of believed the enthusiasm coming out of her mouth and in her voice. And so I said, well, let me try it. Got my first patches, and I let them sit there for a while and looked at them, and eventually I decided to put one on. Didn't have any pain. No, it wasn't anything better, but definitely wasn't anything worse. The patches went on fairly easy, very very easy fit, very sexy to wear. I always said, but I was very interested because of the aspect of the stem cell activation. I've been in the whole aspect of regenerative medicine for many years now. My aspect is inflammation or pain has a purpose. So inflammation, just simply put, is that something is not working correctly anymore, and we want to get that inflammation gone so that the body can restart working properly. One of our biggest parts of our clinic is our weight loss clinic, and we had a patient that we have been really working with, increasing our medication usage, and she just was very resistant. Traditional mid gut weight that she couldn't lose. We all know that kind of goes with a lot of ladies with things like PCOS and other aspects. And so I said, after wearing the patches myself for a month and started seeing some improvement in myself, I turned to the patient. I said, why don't we try this? She took it home, came back next week with an amazing result, weight loss, just feeling less bloated, just overall feeling much better. And as we started talking and asking her how she was feeling wearing the patches, any problems, any side effects of wearing the patches, she says, no, but you know what? My carpal tunnel is gone. That pain that used to wake me up twice a night is completely gone. And I said, no way. And so that's when, all the testimonies that I had, been listening to from you guys really came, the chickens came home to roost, they came home to nest. And I started becoming a believer and started handing them out more and more. Have an aunt that has some dementia issues, and just kind of slowly seeing, I don't think she's seeing it herself, but being able to have a longer conversation with her and things of that nature, it's just amazing technology. I've been in the stem cell world, introducing the stem cells, but crossing that blood-brain barrier, crossing into that blood system to affect the body globally with stem cells versus just joint placement or location treatment was something that we had always been hindered by. And so, Danny, coming across you guys, being introduced to this has opened a whole new world of help that I can provide to my patients. So I will always be thankful for you to you guys. And to make it even more straightforward, we all know the importance of being out and getting sunlight exposure. We know sunlight helps cure babies from jaundice. We know with vitamin D, the whole vitamin D epidemic, we all know that we're deficient of vitamin D, but we're not just deficient of vitamin D, we're deficient of the activation of vitamin D by the sunlight exposure. We work inside the buildings now. We're dressed, covering up 90% of our clothes. And like, as Dr. Stillman said, there's been research and technology into red light therapy, phototherapy, all sorts of things, but never have we had a device where we can carry the sun around with us. Right. So this is the best way that I can kind of say we're carrying the sun right along with us, because like you said, we're already emitting heat. We're already emitting that light. So just to make it do a U-turn and come right back into our bodies and do a little bit of work is just phenomenal.
Yeah, a little less than 5 months ago, my sister-in-law asked me to look into the patch, and I'd never heard of the X39 or LifeWave. Had been a big fan and still, was looking for ways to incorporate photobiomodulation and stem cell therapy. But because of the expense, I never really found what I was looking for. We have a gym that's a part of our clinic. We're very much into lifestyle medicine. It's always been more rewarding to me to get people off of their medicines for blood pressure and diabetes. And so having a repair and maintenance department, if you will, of the lifestyle medicine clinic was really a quest that I was on. And when I looked into this and saw how, saw the science behind it, how beneficial it was, that was so exciting to me. And 6 months ago, I would say everyone needs to expect to live into their 90s. Now with this technology, I really legitimately say we should expect to live into our 100s and beyond, if we're taking care of our bodies. But there is so much benefit. And, personally, I've been using the patch for about 4 months, and then on my patients about the same time period. And I couldn't tell you all of the testimonies, but I'll hit some of the highlights. I've seen inflammatory bowel disease virtually disappear in less than 6 weeks in a young man who was in between treatments and had failed Remicade. I've seen really one of the most impressive things is the neurodegenerative diseases that I'm seeing improve that we have no other treatments for in the world of Western medicine, and really, as far as I know, other than these stem cell patches anywhere else. But Alzheimer's, dementia has already been mentioned, but I've seen several now who are cognitively improving to the point that they can do things again, like drive when they weren't driving anymore. One person that I know of who has Parkinson's, whose tremor was so bad that he couldn't write and he couldn't feed himself. And in less than 1 week on the X39, his tremor completely went away. That's miraculous. There's nothing out there in our modern medicine world otherwise that does that. A lot of remarkable things that I wasn't anticipating, with blood sugar correcting and getting a lot better in both pre-diabetes and in diabetics, blood pressure getting better. And I'm a results guy too. I want to see these things. So we've started testing, on the front end, if we're doing X39 and X49 in a young man that wants to, or for that age, an old man like me that wants to gain muscle mass and lose fat mass. So we're testing body composition on the front end, and then we're testing it at 4 weeks and 8 weeks, and doing our own internal studies, if you will. Personally, I gained 7 pounds of muscle and lost 10 pounds of fat in about 3 months with the X39 and X49. And I haven't changed anything with my diet or exercise. And Danny, you've been around me. I'm not exactly the healthiest eater in the world when it comes to dessert and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I think when you pair this with a healthy lifestyle, when you really eat healthy and you hydrate well and you exercise and you get plenty of rest, sky's the limit on what you can see as far as results. And a lot of times it is fairly quickly. And I know we typically tell people to anticipate as they're older to expect it to take longer, or if the problem is inflammatory and it's been around for years, that it may take longer. And in general, that is true. But I will also say that I've seen patients in their 80s that are getting dramatic results with decreased inflammation, joint pain completely gone within a week or less. So it's hard to predict that, but the proof is in the trial. And I think just really my encouragement to everyone is you have to try this, do it for at least a year. But if you can get them to do it for 6 months, I think they're going to see everything they want to see in the results. So I think on the, as far as just future and what's to come with LifeWave and with next products, I just think we're just scratching the surface, and I'm really excited to see that. But even scratching the surface is, as you've heard, miraculous for a lot of people, and it's changing lives. So couldn't be more excited about it. I've been in medicine almost 30 years practicing, and I've never encountered anything like this.
The best way I can say is that this is the most affordable, sexiest, easiest way to get into the stem cell world. Carrying the sun around in your pocket to just wake your body up is just an amazing ability. Medicine will always be there. to save the farm, to save the body from completely crashing. But that's not the state that most of us operate in. Most of us operate in a state of chronic inflammation day by day, and we need some kind of chronic ability to combat and buffer against that. And this is by far one of the easiest and most transparent ways to do it.
I think, really echoing that, this is the most powerful piece of medical technology I've come across in my practice, and that's over 20 years. So I think being able to reverse and see the testimonies of reversal of aging, reversal of disease that are otherwise untreatable, or that people and other doctors even give up on, this is new hope. It's new hope in the form of a patch that is so simple to offer if you're a healthcare professional, but you don't even have to be. A friend or a family member can begin to offer this to other friends, family members. So harnessing the power of the stem cells really in your pocket, and transforming your life in such a simple but profound way.
So the funny thing is, I think the most compelling thing that I get every day from this is just the testimonials. And like some of the other doctors have said, it's just such an incredible opportunity for people to be part of the healing process, and for the amount of effort that we've put in as doctors to be able to help people, for you to be able to like walk around with this in the palm of your hand. It's just an incredible, incredible blessing for you all to be able to help people like this, because I can tell you, I know what it's like to get results like we see on the patch in my practice. Without the patch, it's a lot of work and effort. So when people pass this up, who I recommend it to, I just think they're totally nuts. They have no idea what they're missing. So enjoy it. Be glad that you got on board.
I think this is the most remarkable opportunity that's ever come along in my lifetime to this point, for your health, for your finances. If you choose to work it as a business. I got both my boys involved because they're just finishing up their college careers, and I told them this is better than a 401k or a Roth IRA. I've heard you say, Danny, it's like buying stock in Walmart in 1980. I think it's better than that. I think there's no comparison. And for those that are just willing to try it, they're not going to be disappointed, and they're going to quickly want to share it with others. So I share that piece with almost everyone that I introduce the patch to.